I've refinished hundreds of pieces of furniture over the years, but this time I'm taking those same skills on the road, literally. In this RV Renovation series, I'm priming and painting everything from the walls and cabinets to the refrigerator and adding peel and stick flooring, backsplash, and wallpaper, all with a furniture refinisher's focus on prep and durability. You'll see what worked, what I'd do differently, and how to get great results even in a small space. Hi, I'm Lana, and together, let's make something beautiful, something made for you. Today, we're starting with the fridge, and I'm going to paint it black. So the first thing I need to do is clean it all. I'm using my Fusion TSP alternative mixed with water in a spray bottle. This stuff is great. You don't need very much of it. It goes a long way. And because it's TSP alternative, you don't have to rinse it back after you clean like you do with regular TSP. And it removes all the grease and the grime, especially in an area like the fridge where there's fingers all over it all the time. And this is definitely not wood. This surface is slick and shiny. And so prepping this properly is going to be super important. I'm going to give it all a nice scuff sand. So scuff sanding is taking between 180 and 220 grit sandpaper. I like to just quarter the full sheets, wrap it around a sanding sponge like that. I find it more economical that way. And I should be wearing a mask. We're just roughing up the surface. So we're getting rid of that shiny, glossy surface and giving the primer and then the paint something to grab onto. Now we're going to go back in and film it again. I know, you're probably thinking, it doesn't look any different. It is. It's clean, and we've roughed up that surface and gotten rid of that sheen, and now the primer is going to stick much better. And we're using STIX primer in here because it sticks to anything. Take my mask off. It sticks to anything, the STIX primer. It's a bonding primer. And it also doesn't have a very strong odor. And when you're working in a small space like an RV or a bathroom or a tiny home, something like that, you really don't want something that's got a really strong odor that's going to bother your lungs. So now I'm taping off the black edge. So I'm at the point now where I'm alternating between things that I'm doing because I'm trying to get all of the cabinet doors and drawers painted. I just primed everything, which is why I'm coming in here to prime this. But it takes some time, a few hours between the primer and the paint, and then between coats of paint. So I'm trying to do other things in between. So now I'm taking this damp paper towel and I'm running it right along the edges, and this is doing two things. It's really pressing the tape in. It's also going to help seal the edge of the tape. Little trick. I'm ready for primer. So it has been overnight since I put the STIX primer on, and I'm now going to go in with some Sherwin-Williams Emerald Urethane Enamel. This is tricorn black in satin, and I absolutely love this color. I use it a lot for my furniture. And I've got my tray lined with some tin foil so that it's easier for cleanup. I've got a foam brush that I'm cutting in with and then my microfiber roller. I'm gonna do a quick stir on the paint to make sure it's all mixed up. This paint is definitely on the expensive side. However, it is excellent quality. It's highly durable and it does not need a top coat. I'm just going to go along the edges. And this time I'm actually pushing up in a little bit because the wood kind of goes underneath this lip. I can take it off easier than I can take the primer off. And black on black isn't as noticeable as white on black. So I'm not using too much paint, just getting my roller covered. And then I'll roll the big surface first. So get rid of some of the paint and then go in here, do the edges and just clean that up. Like I said, this paint is expensive. If you're going to buy it, Sherwin-Williams often has sales anywhere from 30 to 40% off on this paint. And so I would wait, if you can, to get this at a sale price. I'm going to need 3 coats, I can tell. So I just focus first of all on getting it on. And then what I do, you saw me do this with the primer, is I just go back over everything with the side that could drip that I can roll back over again. The foam brush just helped me get right into the edge, and then the microfiber roller, just smoothing that out. There, 1 coat done. So we are moving on to coat of paint number 2. Now, when it's only going to be a couple days before I get back to painting, I don't actually worry about cleaning up my rollers and stuff. I just put everything in plastic bags and it stays moist and fresh. And if it's really hot or really dry where you are, what you can do is stick it in the freezer, even the fridge. If I can, I always like to roll back over the main areas that I do with the brush because I find the roller gives just a smoother finish. You don't want to go back over it though if it's been a while since you painted it. I can do it because I just did this. One of the nice things about this paint, and I've noticed a lot of furniture refinishers starting to use this as well. So I love that it doesn't need a top coat, especially on a dark color where it's really hard to get a top coat done and not have streaks. But this has a long open time. And what that means is you have more time to work with it. You never want to overwork your paint. If you don't get full coverage, that's okay. Do another thin coat. Don't go back over it. But you do have a slightly longer open time on this. There we go. Coat of paint number 2 on the fridge. So I'm just going to scrape this last little bit of tape off using my blade carefully. Is that my tape? I think that's my tape. Looks like my tape. I think it's not my tape. This is definitely tape. After these last final touch-ups along the edges, I was done. I just really wanted a clean transition where the panel meets the trim. I later learned there's another way to tackle this kind of fridge. You can actually snap off the outside trim and remove the panel entirely to paint it separately. This RV makeover is just one part of the journey. I'll keep sharing projects and lessons as I go. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure to follow along.